Hi, good morning. This is Andrew LowSutea present. Wow, it's so good to talk to you again. And today we are going to prepare something very, very useful for you. Well, let me share with you something which is important to understand. A lot of my friends that who be now using LowSutea was really felt that was very helpful. And so net result, they actually end up to bring the A1C down to below 6.4. Some is low 6, A1C below 6%. Some you close at 5.7% and go back and forth 5.7, 5.8, and so forth. If they really follow through the advice that we give them, really, focus on the carbs intake, exercise, lower their weight, and all the good stuff that they're supposed to do. They really works. And matter of fact, they were so happy. And they said, wow, the doctor now lower my medication. Some of them have no more insulin injection and on and on and on. And they become very healthy. Now, that are all good stuff, okay? However, some individual think that, wow, hey, I drank LowSutea real good, and now I'm so well. Now my A1C dropped down 6.4. I'm cured. Now, to be honest, when you are diabetic, you cannot be cured. You can only be controlled. That's the reason why we stress that you have to continue to change your lifestyle and get a good habit. Now, I'll share with you a real story. One gentleman of ours that really good, he dropped his A1C from 10 all the way down to 6.4. He was really healthy and now is doing good and so forth. But he thought that he was really get cured. So you know what he started? He started saying that, hey, I'm cured now. I don't need medication. So he's, first of all, definitely the medication was no longer needed. So he stopped medication. Second, he stopped drinking LowSutea. And third, the worst thing is he no longer follow his good lifestyle, control the carb diet, low carb diet, low fat diet, and also exercise and control his weight. And also, really continue the whole lifestyle change. Basically, he said, well, I don't need this anymore because now I can really enjoy himself. So what he did is start eating 3 ice cream a day, or quite a bit of regular that he loved, the food that he loved to eat. And within a month, his A1C, boom, went back up to almost like 10%. And so he came back and said, wow, what happened? I said, really, at the end of the day, remember this. When you are diabetes, you don't get well. You can only control. And you really need to take your medication. Now, LowSutea can help you to lower that, to lower to 6.4% and lower. But you have to keep up your lifestyle change, meaning your carbs are to well control. You have to exercise. You have to get a weight. And then certainly if you need drugs or medication, you need to continue to take it. Unfortunately, my clients that thought that he was really cured and he no need to do any of those, and boom, his blood sugar went back up. And actually, he learned a great lesson and started realizing, wow, this is a lifelong disease. I may have to continue to live the good, healthy life, eat good, diet with low carbs, everything. So I say, yes, you got to do that. And that's the reason why I created this webinar today, to help everybody understand. Really, at the end of the day, you cannot just, live without, the low carbs. You got to really change your lifestyle, exercise, weight control, learn from the webinar, and continue to really, give you this good lifestyle, lower that 3 highs. When you do that, you'll be healthy. Your diabetes will be basically controlled. Your A1C will be below 6.4%. You'll be good. So that's why I thought it would be good to generate this. What is the carbs to do for you, and what do you have to do? And that is a very important part, one of the very important part to continue to keep you healthy and maintain your blood sugar level. Hey, we got our lectures here. Okay, well, today we're going to talk about what is smart carbs. What carbs you want to take to really maintain you're pre-diabetic, diabetes. Now, if you are pre-diabetic, you're going to start learning about carbs. You know why? Because if you don't, the chances of you converting to a diabetic will be high. Now, so what you want to do is really want to have this with the understanding what to monitor, and I'll give you a lot of that information today, so you can have an understanding what carbs are about, why the carbs will increase your blood sugar, and what will help you to maintain better blood sugar so you don't get your A1C go beyond 6.4 and higher. Now, this is a lifelong process, meaning that you gotta throughout your life now. If you are pre-diabetic or you are diabetic, you have to start practicing that. You might able to occasionally, one small chance to say, hey, okay, I really like to eat a little bit. Well, eat a very small amount. And maybe with that, you can drink a lot of LowSutea. Maybe with that, you can temporarily treat yourself a little treat, but you will not screw up your entire blood sugar regime. So that is what your objective is going to be, and it's so important to follow through. So we're going to go through that today, and you get a very good understanding and hope that you can stick to it, and you'll be definitely healthy, because you can lower your carbs. That's mean you can lower your blood sugar, and then with that, you also lower your good bad cholesterol, and that result with LowSutea, you can also lower your blood pressure, your 3 high lower. The chances for you to be healthy, it will be very high. Okay, so let's start. So today we're going to introduce what is pre-diabetic, diabetic, so you have got an understanding what's the difference. And then also, then from there, you can understand what is simple and complex carb and their impact to your blood sugar level. Now, keep in mind, you always try to do complex carb. You always try to take complex carb, not simple carbs like white sugar. Wow, that would be bad for your blood sugar, okay? Because it will automatic, boom, you got a sugar spike. And also from there, you also discover what a variety of smart carb you can choose from, and which you can include in diet, and what food you should avoid. And then you have to plan your meal and the tips to plan your meal. And then also what's the practical strategy to eat, variety of food, but in low carb and low fats. So net result, you keep yourself healthy. And how LowSutea can help you. Now, on top with that, we'll make a conclusion, and then we can see any question and answer. We'll help you to answer. So that will be what we're going to do. I think you're going to enjoy this webinar. It's going to be important for you to better understand, all the whole story of carbs, and it's going to help you. Now, today I saw a lot of names that I'm not familiarized, and I thought that perhaps it would be good to actually go through just to get everybody to catch up. Now, everybody go through 4 stage from, just high cholesterol, sugar, but not pre-diabetic yet, eventually go to diabetic. So you have 4 stages. Now, usually a first stage you start up is your bad cholesterol, which is the LDL cholesterol goes up first. When the LDL cholesterol goes up, you know what can happen? It will start getting damage your B cells, which is the pancreas issue the B cells out to carry sugar to the cells. So when the B cell damage, the less sugar going to the cells, more B cell is going to come out, but on the other hand, continue the B cells damage. So net result, your blood sugar will continue goes up now because it doesn't go to the cells now. It just circulates in the bloodstream. Now the problem going to start because the LDL cholesterol and the sugar add together, your blood become very thick. When that become very thick, you're going to move very quickly to stage 2, because what's going to happen is your blood vessel will start forming plaques everywhere. And when your plaques forming, then your blood vessel will have less room, your blood pressure will goes up. So the second stage, your blood pressure goes up, and then it will clog throughout your body, entire body, and this is not reversible. So that is the worst thing for diabetic, because eventually your whole body will continue to get plugs everywhere, your heart, your brain, your kidney, everywhere. Okay, so very soon your blood sugar continue goes up, then you will move to stage 3, because what happened, your blood sugar is going so much higher that your doctor is going to measure how many percent of the sugar attached to your hemoglobin, which is a red cell carrier oxygen and all that. Everybody have that. Now, a hemoglobin, if you have 5.7% and lower, you are a normal person. But if you have 5.7 to 6.4, it's a very narrow range. You now become a pre-diabetic. Now, unfortunately, in pre-diabetic, you have no medication to take. The doctor recognizes it and say, hey, you know, you are pre-diabetic now. What you got to do is you have to control your blood sugar. You have to control your diet. You have to go exercise. But majority of people hear that, they really have no idea. So they will continue the same lifestyle, don't change anything, no carb control, no exercise, still watch the same TV, lying down all the time, and that result, gaining weight. You know what? 2 to 3 years, you will be converted, because once your A1C surpass 6.4%, you will become a so-called a diabetic. And eventually, insurance goes up, your health will get worse. You can only control diabetes, you can get well. So these are the 4 stages. I want to make sure everybody can continue to catch this up. So that way, all the people who listen understand what I'm talking about. Now, why I recommended LowSutea to help you. Now, LowSutea has only 2 things. The first thing is called bitter melon. Second is guava leaves. Now, what the guava leaves does is delay the absorption of blood sugar into the gut vessels, so you have less sugar in the body, right? Then very, very good is the bitter melon. The bitter melon, what it does is increase insulin sensitivity. It takes the sugar into the cells, so you have fuel, energy. And then the nice thing is the excess sugar and the cholesterol and the salt will be discharged out from urine. So they dumped it out in urine, and that result, when your sugar go down, your cholesterol go down, when salt go down, your blood pressure will go down, and also help you detox. That's why LowSutea really works to help you to lower your 3 high: blood sugar, cholesterol, bad cholesterol, and also your blood pressure. Okay, now we don't just say, hey, drink LowSutea, because it's so important. You have to change your lifestyle. As I mentioned, if you don't change this lifestyle, the success of you getting really healthy will be not as high. So you got to change your lifestyle. What that means is, 1, you have to drink LowSutea 6 to 8 cups a day. As you know, you just drink water, but now you don't drink water, you drink LowSutea. And then will lower your blood sugar level, cholesterol, and blood pressure, right? But also you have to use low carb to lower your blood sugar. So we'll teach you all about that today. And also low fat diet, how they make that usually net result, you have less cholesterol and so forth. Now, you must exercise. Now, I found a lot of people who drink LowSutea do not actually exercise, so their results are not as good for the one that who exercise. So exercise means you have to at least 8 to 10,000 steps a day. And then you also have to weight control. Now, if your BMI is 30 and over, you got to bring it back to 23. I know that is hard. Believe me, because for me, it took 3 to 4 years before I can bring that down to sometime about 25. I'm still struggling 25 to 23 in that area, okay? So it's not an easy thing. You have to exercise. You have to be consistent. You have to eat the regular diet. Wow, it is hard, but you can do it. It's just a matter of you want to do it or not. Then certainly why I'm giving you this webinar from doctor, myself as a nurse, so you can aware what are you doing with all the food you intake, what program you use, how to change your lifestyle, and what's the disease process all about. Now, majority of the lecture that you are here, I really talk about food only, but I really dig in a lot of things about, well, what could happen if you have high blood pressure? What could happen if you have high cholesterol? And what the damage to your body. So you can hear a lot of your information on, the disease process. So with that, you have understand that, then you're able to hold on to this, and you can able to change accordingly, and able to understand, to spot out some of the problem you might have, and then you can able right away to help yourself to get yourself better health. And last but not least, we'll also have a program to help you to track the blood sugar So you will give you to write it down, what to do, and so you know how to do it. So you can actually review how are you doing or move forward. So these are the things that we will do and teach you. And hopefully we'll get your A1C. If you're 10% higher, you can go down to 5.7. I saw a lot of my customers doing that, and they are really successful. But you know what? They actually do the exercise, they lower your weight. They actually lower the carb by practicing low carb diet and drink LowSutea. With all that, it really works. So let's talk about what is pre-diabetic, okay? Let's talk about what is pre-diabetic. Now, it's very important, and what is diabetes? Because if you don't know about pre-diabetic, diabetic, you really are not able to handle it because you don't even know the difference. Now, very important. First of all, normal person, they always measure A1C is 5.7 and lower. If you have A1C of 5.7, you're a normal person. Now, if you're pre-diabetic, as I mentioned, it's going to be 5.7 to 6.4%. The band is narrow, but you reach that, you got to start acting because it will take you maybe 1 or 2 years to get used to lifestyle. So that is so important that you got to start practicing and make sure that you don't fall into the diabetic trap, because once you're over 6.4, you're 6.5 and up, now you have type 2 diabetic. So that is the data to measure yourself. What is a diabetic? What is a pre-diabetic? Okay, so let's define that. Pre-diabetic, both basically is your body, basically your blood sugars are continue to be going up and not normal as below 5.7, but it's between the 5.7, 6.4 range, but not high enough to be a diabetic because you're not over 6.5. So basically, that we'll talk about what is pre-diabetic all about. Now, when you are pre-diabetic, basically, when you have diabetes, basically, you're now over 6.5 now, your percentage. Now, what happened when that happened, you are really got to be careful, because if you don't do anything, your A1C can go up. Eventually, you're going to have a risk of heart attack, heart disease, stroke. You have maybe the kidney issue. Your blood vessel will be damaged. All sort of complications come along. So you don't want to be in this boat. And I tell you, we have gave it a lot of lectures already on this. And that is really bad for everybody. So you don't want that, do that. So pre-diabetic actually is a serious condition because it leads you to the diabetes, right? So, but on the hand, now you can take steps. You can do it to prevent yourself become diabetes if you can act now. And what that now means is you're going to have diet control, you're going to get exercise, you're going to lose weight. If you're obese, you're going to lose your weight from 30, BMI 30 above, and go down to 23. And drink LowSutea, and that is really your secret weapon. You can do that. Now, you're diabetic, you're in a chronic position. Actually, it's a lifelong management, like my friend who thought that he is cured, but he really cannot cure. You're in control. So you need to basically same practice. You have to have good, healthy diet, get regular exercise, losing weight, continue to measure your blood sugar to make sure that it doesn't go up high, and reduce the diabetic risk of diabetic complication. As I mentioned, diabetic complication is plentiful, which means you can have heart attack, you have a stroke, you can have blindness, you can have nerve damage, you can also create issue for yourself that wound doesn't heal, you have to chop up your leg. Wow, all that thing, you don't want to be in there. You want to be make sure healthy to keep yourself in pre-diabetic range, okay, for diabetes, yeah? Okay, now the thing is, sad part is, if you are in general population, many of these people, if you are pre-diabetic or type 2 diabetes, the risk factor are several. One, if you're obese, I'm overweight, okay? I'm overweight, my BMI over 30, the chances you become a pre-diabetic, diabetic is going to be high. Now, certainly it's a family history too. If your family, some of them will have diabetes, and I have a customer which every time buy 10 bags of LowSutea. I say, hey, are you selling this? I said, no, I'm buying this from my father, my mother, my brother, my cousin, and my uncle, aunties. Wow, you know, a whole family, because you know why? Generic, which related that they all become pre-diabetic or diabetes, okay? Now, if you're 45 years or older, you have also a high chance of pre-diabetic diabetes. Also, if you're already high cholesterol, high blood pressure, you need to have a high risk to, you have to drink LowSutea definitely, because you definitely will have a high risk of pre-diabetic diabetes already. A lot of people don't also know you are sleep apnea. You know what? You snore or not. Every night you can't, your wife can say, hey, I can't sleep. You snore so hard. And that result with that, it will definitely show that you are also a possibility of pre-diabetic or diabetes, because that result usually over here, you're very chubby here, and then your tongue will fall back and cover your air pipe. So that's why you snore a lot, and then eventually have all sorts of issues might occur. So with that, if you have sleep apnea problem, you gotta check whether your A1C is already reaching over 5.7 above. You gotta act. And in addition to that, you also people who have really don't move much. They don't do exercise. They have a sedation of lifestyle. You watch a couch potato person. That will be also a high risk factor of being a pre-diabetic diabetic. Now, some of the sign will move from a pre-diabetic diabetes is usually a several. The first thing. Now, let's one first. You really, majority of the people might not have any sign symptom. They just felt that, oh, it's very comfortable. Everything seems to be okay. But it will, if there are some signs coming out, that means you are really getting there to be truly a diabetes already from pre-diabetic. Now, usually they go with common sign is increasing thirst, frequent urination, increased hunger, like eat and you want to eat some more again. And also you feel tired often. If you have vision loss, that is getting more serious because things start getting blurred. Maybe sometimes you have numbness and tiredness, tingling feeling of the hands and feet. You have frequent infection, slow healing sore. Also, sometimes that's another one that is very interesting. Suddenly, this individual losing a lot of weight without no intention to lose weight, but they suddenly get really lost of weight. And so that is something you have to watch, because most of the time that these persons are pre-diabetic to eventually change to diabetes. So you have to watch that. So also kidney disease and heart disease. Now, one of the very common signs also, the leg become very dry. And so that's something I didn't write down here, but a lot of the pre-diabetic patient, the leg become very dry and eventually move to all the stuff that we'll talk about. If you have no sign symptom, leg getting dry, well, you might need to check to start getting A1C, because blood sugar, you got to check. In order to find out, you have to take your blood test to get your A1C. And you want to check get your family doctor to say, hey, I want to check my A1C. I'm 45 now. That will be always a good idea. So you have a baseline record. In every year, check A1C, that you can see whether you are become a pre-diabetic or diabetes. Now we'll talk about the definition. What is a pre-diabetic, diabetic? Well, let's talk about why carbs management is so important. Why carbohydrate is so important, okay? Now, certain carb is important because carb is an item to give you energy. It's just like a fuel. It's like your gasoline, okay? Because when carb break down, it give you glucose, like blood sugar, okay? And enter your bloodstream and give you fuel to your cells, so the cell can use it for tissue, so you get energy. So managing the carb intake is very important, because if you make too much carb, you know what? Your blood sugar go too much. That is no good for you. You have to make sure that you have a good balance, make sure you have good carb intake, so it doesn't get too over carb or too little carb. So net result, you can able to decrease the risk of become a pre-diabetic or diabetes. So very important, carbs. Look at it as really important, a fuel for your bodies, okay? But managing it is important. But there's two types of carbs. One is called a simple carb, one is a complex carbs. Now, what you gotta do is you gotta always take complex carb if you are a pre-diabetic diabetes. Now, simple carbs are the carbs that give you fuel, but it increases the blood sugar real quick. bang, and then you get over like 180 or 10. Wow, that's not good. So you need to basically find this product you want to eliminate as much as you can. These are something like glucose, fructose, sucrose, other items like white sugar. So it will give you burst of energy. But the worst thing is it gone up. Make sure that your blood sugar goes up, boom, real fast. And you don't want that. You want to make sure the sugar go up slowly, not going real quick. Now, what is complex carbs? Is gradual increase of blood sugar level. In other words, slowly going, it doesn't go jump up like that. And you will find this are usually the whole food, unprocessed food, whole grain, legumes, vegetable, and fruits. And then it also give you a sustainability and energy, and you maintain fullness. Like in other words, you ate like some whole grain, you feel like more full longer time, but the carb doesn't goes up. It goes up, but scroll up gradually, right? So that is become very important. So complex carbs is always you want to try to do that. Try to eat that, not to eat, really simple carb like white sugar from my coffee. Wow, stop that. That is no good for you, okay? So you don't want to take simple carb. You want to take complex carb. So basically, very easy to understand. Just say complex, it takes longer to digest. It takes longer to use up the sugar, and you feel fuller. So that will be very good. So high caloric food may not be always cause you blood sugar rise, because now you need to look at something that is, what is that really is a good GI. If a high GI, that's no good because they will boom, get your blood sugar up. Low GI is gradual increase your blood sugar, lead you to basically the insulin increase not as much as it can. So anyway, better health and better for you. So always maintain good low GI food, and I'll show you a whole list of low GI food in a couple of slides later. So you can always continue to make sure that you are able to take food with low GI, glycemic index, okay? Now, what is the glycemic index? You heard a lot about GI, right? Oh, GI glycemic index is that they come out with this scale with 0 to 100. So they rank all the food, what is high glycemic index, what is low glycemic index. So you have something to sort of look at and say, oh, wow, if this is high, I'm not going to take this. I'm going to take low glycemic index. Now, high glycemic index, it make your blood sugar rise real quick. Like, for example, white rice, white sugar, okay? Those are simple carbs, okay? Low GI food is something like 50%, 55 or lower. So this food help you to manage better blood sugar control, weight, reduce your risk of heart attack because it causes slower and more gradual increase of blood sugar. The high GI food is 70 or more, rapid spike sugar, can lead your insulin to really goes up. Lots of insulin come out to give you the insulin go into the cell, but if it doesn't work, then you become insulin resistant. More and more when you develop, eventually you become a type 2 diabetic and cause all kind of diabetic complications, including heart disease and so forth. So that is something you want to eliminate. So try to take low carbs and low GI index food. Okay, so what is low GI food? Very simple. Whole grain, like legume, lentil and chicken peas, split peas, non-starchy vegetable, broccoli, spinach, celeries, but not in the sense of potato. Fruits are very good. Apple fruit, berries, oats are good, and also dairy food is going to be low fat and unsweetened. Now, high GI food is white bread. If you eat a lot of white bread, that is not good for you. Sugar cereal, that even worse because the sugar cereal is extreme high carb. Look at the label. It said that your one bowl of cereal takes you something like 80 grams of carbs. That's terrible. Potatoes, fruit juice, instant noodles, all those are bad for you. So don't eat those stuff. Okay. Now, So really, the GI food, you got to think about the quality of the carbs serving, and you have to better understand that. And later on, I'll give you a chart to look at. Okay, so think about this: if you have good quality GI food, which is the glycemic low GL, if 10 or less, is really good because it becomes better, low impact to your blood sugar level. But if you have 11 to 19, then moderate impact to your blood sugar level, and anything GL more than 20 is significant impact. So you want to always look at 10 or lower, and that will good. So right now, I'm giving you a chart. You can see that if you talk about if you have apple, berry, tofu, celery, leaf vegetable, lean pork, all those are low GI food, and this is very good. And you want to eat pears more, you want to eat avocados and eggs and so forth, all these, okay, and oats and wheats, okay. Now, medium size, the middle one is basically carrot, orange, banana, but the high one, that is the part that you really, really like to watch. Like, for example, rice, white sugar, white bread, all these things you have to basically pretty much have to take it away, because if you do that, your blood sugar continue goes up. That's not good for you. So mango is a high sugar thing, and you have a lot of like cupcakes or all the sweet stuff. So you gotta really cut that off. If you don't, your chances to get A1C will be high. So now we need to think about what is a smart carb choice then. So really, at the end of the day, you want to always choose good fruits, because they're good vitamin, fibers, and they're low GI. Will be something like apple, pear, papaya. The vegetable, green leaf pepper, is low calorie, high fibers, and also is not starchy. So like lettuce and so forth, those are really good stuff for you. And you want to take a lot of whole grain. So your bread is not white bread anymore. You use whole grain bread, which is rich with fiber, vitamin, minerals. And then the brown bread, for example, brown rice, red rice, all those things are good. And then also another thing is called lingam, which is you got a high fiber with protein, is low GI, lentils, chicken peas, peanuts. Those are good stuff. So you got to choose that, and always try to go for whole food. Like whole food is high fiber food, which is high fiber, can help you regular blood sugar, and also take a long time to process, meaning your chances to get spiking high blood sugar is much lower. And then you want to also have nutritional dense. Whole food is always nutrition dense, have a lot of vitamin, minerals, which help you improve overall health. And you don't want to add white sugar. Like added white sugar is going to be bad. So limited the low. You want to add white sugar, and plus you want to make sure your whole food are low calories, and make sure that you don't want to take processed food, little processed food. So all these things will help you to continue to maintain better health. Now, also, all human beings always love their snacks, because at nighttime you might be saying hungry. So what is a good snack to take? Now, healthy snack is, and also potential dessert. Now, that is part that to manage the diabetes, you gotta basically have really good snack. Don't go around look for snack to say crackers, cookies, all those will be bad. So you want to make sure that those snack you take basically can help you to satisfy your need of snack, but at the same time doesn't increase your blood sugar, and at the same time also not increase tremendously on the calorie. Like, for example, raw vegetable with hummus or guacamoles. For example, raw material would be something like celeries or cucumbers. Those are good stuff, okay? And also you can get fruits, fresh fruit, a fruit salad, for example, maybe with pears, apples, make a fruit salad. You can also low-fat dairy products such as yogurt, cottage cheese. And then you can add some nuts like almond nuts, walnuts, pumpkin seed. If you really get hungry, eat a hard-boiled egg, okay? And then you can also eat whole grain crackers with nut butter and so forth, low-fat cheese. So all these things can help you to become better, healthy snack. Now at nighttime, a lot of time, I watch you at chew on something. So I found that it's very easy to get some celery cut in small pieces about this big and start eating it. So you get some chew, and some of that is cold because I put it in an ice box. When I'm hungry, I take it out. And it's not giving you a lot of calories, and it's kind of nice to chew on something and help you to satisfy that sort of a snack. Rather than go dig around and say, I get cookies or 2-3 cookies, because when you eat cookie, it tastes good. You get more and more cookie. Oh, that would be bad, right? Now, so others option would be like you can get banana slice, homemade fruit sherbet, things like that. Make sure that all those are fresh fruits, are berry, apples, Greek yogurt, because Greek yogurt does have artificial sweetener in there. Also, you can do dark chocolate, 7% cocoa type with almond and nuts. You can also bake apple, cinnamon, things like that can really able to give you lots of variety. You can go website, low carb, low sugar type of recipe at Plentiful to get those, so you get able to satisfy your snack. Because snack, although you ate dinner, but your snack can able to really screw up your entire carb management. Now, what food to avoid though? Now, more important, don't drink Coke and things like that, soda, juice, any kind of sweetened coffee, smoothies. Wow, those are really become very, very scary with lots of carb. And you don't want to get the refined carbs like white bread, pasta, rice, which really digest quickly, but is give you tremendous fast sugar spike. Cut out the fried food like French fries, things like that. That's going to be taken away. Or sweetened breakfast cereal. Now, you imagine if you take the typical box of cereals, you take about 550 pounds of sugar a year. So that is terrible, a lot of sugar. And also processed snack like chips, tortilla chips and things like that. You got to take that away because they're fat, sugar, and sodium. All that is not good for you. Another one, a lot of people say, oh, I think yogurt is healthy. But the problem with yogurt is the flavored yogurt. It has a lot of sugar in it. It might not have all the health you want. Plus the fatty meal like bacon, sausage, red meat, all those are not good. They have a lot of high level of saturated fat, which is potential not only the carb, but also increase heart disease. So you want to make sure to cut down that. Now, also food that has, you got to take some limit is really the starchy vegetable like potatoes, corn, all that. So dry food is terrible because of very high sugar concentration. If you take that, it really boosts up your sugar. Fruits, which is got to have, take fruits that is low sugar or low GI. For example, you don't want to take mango because mango will get your blood sugar go up also because a lot of carbs, sugar carbs in there. So those are needed. If you take sugar, take mango, it give you a high sugar spike very easily. So with that though, on the other hand, you say, well, I now know all that. I want to have mixture, limit my simple carb, and I want a more complex carb. So how I do it all? Now, very important, you have to educate yourself what to eat. So you always read the label. Your diet could be personalized for you. And I always teach you guys now, your diet always half is all vegetables. So you can think of all kind of natural vegetable. And the one quarter of that will be all your proteins, which is going to be like lean meat, a lot of fish, and then the other quarter will be your starch, will be like brown rice, red rice, all those have to be there. So you need to basically have that, always have that plate. Half is already all vegetable. Make it easy for you. Now you can look up our website and able to look at all the different recipe and plan for it, but write it down so you can think of another whole week what to eat and enjoy what you eat. And understand what is eat will not improve your carbs. So with that, you're going to focus, all that for long-term healthy eating, because every week you have to plan. So don't plan day by day, plan for a week. So you can able to help you to continue delay or onset of diabetes, improve blood sugar control, and reduce the risk of your diabetic complication. And that is the most important. So some idea is simple meal plan. Breakfast, you eat oatmeal, berry, and nuts. Lunch, you can have salad, mixed green with grilled chicken, grilled white meat chicken. Dinner, you can have baked salmon, roast vegetable, and snack with apple slice, with peanut butter, hummus, and cracked egg. Very simple, but it works. And you can have all kind of this in the internet to look at. You can also plan and will make your life is so much more interesting. Now, also you can have a healthy swap, like you want pasta, instead of get a regular pasta, you're now asking for a wheat pasta, pasta made by wheat, and supermarket, a lot of that. And instead of white rice, you can cut cauliflower rice, which is also now is available. And you have to mindful eating with, like, for example, you have to for example, you when eat, you don't just gobble in there. You do it slowly, so let the food continue to absorb. So net result, you will able to not overeat. Plus, you're not since you're not overeat, you will not go quickly. I will hungry again. Will not, because you kind of take a time to digest, right? And also try to cook at home as much as you can. And you can always, as I said, make a portion size. Your plate, make it smaller. Don't make it too big. So when you make a smaller plate, you actually eat less. Eating less, that's how you start getting low calories and also lower your carbs, right? And make sure you get easy recipe. Make sure soup, grilled chicken salad. You can always look for all those, and it really works, because I look at internet a lot. I get a lot of the recipe. Basically, very helpful. Now, don't forget one more thing. You got to drink LowSutea, because LowSutea drink 6 to 8 cups a day. Help you definitely lower your blood sugar, high blood pressure, and bad cholesterol. I was interesting. Some of my patients was telling me that even though they take a lot of medication, the blood sugar doesn't matter, just keep going up. But after drinking LowSutea, you know what? The blood sugar start going down. The cholesterol start going down. And basically, it's like giving a booster. So net result, you have to follow through with that. So in conclusion, smart carbohydrate choice is really important for you to manage your blood sugar for pre-diabetic, diabetic. If you do not take the right type of carb, that will screw up your whole body to continue to increase your blood sugar. Net result, your pre-diabetic diabetes will get more and more serious. Now, I gave you a chart. Make sure to take all the products that is low GI and good GI glycemic load. So you got to choose your food which will help you to lower your blood sugar level and continue to control overall your blood sugar management. And you always consume low GI food. And basically, like for example, throughout your life, you have to continue to do that. So you have to continue to do that, to think about low GI food, and always look at food that is complex carb, and understand who is complex carbs, and also prioritize, make sure you got a lot of vegetable, whole grain, foods, legume diet, and then you want to reduce as much carbohydrate as possible, i.e. you're supposed to take less than 150 grams or no more than 200 grams of carbs a day. So no more sugar drink like juice, soda, and all that. And then you're going to have a balanced diet. You have to proportion it. Half of them is all vegetable, and a quarter of them is going to be all your meat with fish, whitefish, salmon, and white chicken, not red steak. And then a quarter of them is brown rice. So you proportion always that. You have lots of variety. And the snack going to be all vegetable, like for example, zucchini or celeries or cucumbers Those are things to eat rather than cookies. And then you're gonna able to always able to swap. Like for example, instead of getting a regular pasta, now you got a wheat pasta or that kind of stuff. So you can able to do that instead of white rice. You gotta get brown rice and red rice. So net result, and continue to do the carb side and do your exercise and the weight control. I can certain you will be able to become very healthy and able to enjoy your life, lower your 3 high. Your diabetic will be definitely will reverse from your high A1C 10%. Continue to drink LowSutea. You were able to bring it down to 6.4% lower. Now, you have any question, do write to me, Andy, ANDY, at WAHFONG.com, or WhatsApp us, 852-679-28891. 6852 is area code 679-28891, or 3001-852-3001-5644. So we're looking forward to hear you. And a lot of people do actually write to me, and I answer that question. So remember, carb is going to help you to control your blood sugar. If you don't practice the good carbs, you are not going to be able to be that successful to lower your blood sugar in your bloodstream. And that result, you might not be as easy to control your blood sugar. So net result, your potential pre-diabetic and diabetic complication might be much higher. So thank you very much today. I hope you learn what can help you to able to get you more understanding what the carbs will do for you. And that result, you can able to continue to be healthy. And I'm looking forward for your next week to give you another different subject. And your question, write to us. Will help you to be understanding better what is the pre-diabetic, diabetic, and how to prevent. Use lower your 3 high, and you can continue to be healthy. Thank you very much. Take care. Have a good weekend.